So welcome back. We are already ready for our quarterfinals. On the left side we see Joris van Hoven. On the right side we see Marvin Roelofs.
Yep.
I believe. Joris van Hoven is playing the UB Delver deck, while Marvin is playing
Dead Shadow.
UB Dead Shadow. So that's a deck what we talked about some hours ago. It started out to being a modern deck, and it came into the legacy scene several months ago. So let's see what this deck does. It plays some shock lands, it plays fetch lands, so they can play fetch into shock. They want to play Tatsis most of the times. They take 5 damage, go to 15. They play Dismember to to put around their own life total down as fast as possible, just so that they can play Dead Shadow. Dead Shadow is for 1 black. It's a 13/13 creature for 1 mana actually, but it has -X for every life point you have. So if you have 13 life points or more, it dies. Otherwise, it can be a very big creature. If you're only at 5 or something, it's an 8/8 for 1 black mana. It seems pretty strong. So both players do draw their starting hands. Actually, we see a little bit the same on both sides. We saw Brainstorm, Force of Will, we saw some Underground Sea, but that is what you get if you play UB Delver against UB Dead Shadow. It are a little bit the same decks actually, only the one is playing the Dead Shadow and the other one is playing some other creature. What is he playing? Okay, they're playing main deck Delver Secret, Schuurmag Anglers, True Name Nemesis and Bitter Blossoms. This is for the UB Delver deck. And for the UB Dead Shadow list, he is playing 4 Dead Shadows, 4 Delver Secrets, 2 Gurmag Anglers, and 4 Street Raids. The Street Raid is actually not a creature to cast, it's for 5 mana, a 3/4 creature with Swamp Walk, but it has pay to life cycle, so it brings your life points down a lot quicker. This list, I think it's a very cool card in the list. We can see it in Marvin's hand already. It's a Reanimate. So they're playing 2 Reanimates in their list.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very good actually in this matchup. Yes, if you can cycle a Street Raid, turn 1, you pay 2 life, you go to 17, then you just pay a black mana for Reanimate, you take 5 damage. For the Street Raid, but you have a 3/4 creature with Swamp Walk and it costs 5 mana. Yeah? So, but against the UB Delver is Swamp Walk very good. So it's unblockable for the UB Delver player.
And very hard to kill.
Yes. For the rest, both decks are playing some Ponders, Brainstorms, Force of Will, Days. Actually, that's something nice as well for the UB Dead Shadow. Now you see he has 2 Underground Seas in play. He's only playing 2 because he's playing 3 Watery Graves as well.
Yeah.
So it's as well an Island Swamp, but it's the modern duel, as we say, the Shocklands. But together with Days, sometimes it works very good because you can pay 2 life to put it into play untapped. If you play Days, you can get it on hand again, play it, and your next turn take 2 damage again. It sounds strange to say that taking 2 damage is good. Yeah. But this is actually what the deck wants to do. So
The Delver didn't flip, so that's unfortunate.
And sometimes the Reanimate in the deck, it can do some nice stuff. If you're playing like against the Reanimator decks and they are going blind into Faithless Looting, they're putting Griselbrand or something in their graveyard, it's your turn, you just can play Underground Sea, reanimate your Griselbrand, thank you. It's just a nice play to have with the reanimate. It doesn't happen a lot, of course, but sometimes it happens. So Joris is playing Preordain. So Marvin got rid of the Delver of Secrets with a Fatal Push. There is no pressure on either side at this moment. I think Joris van Hove has Fatal Push, Force of Will and Brainstorm on hand. Marvin tries to Brainstorm end of turn with an open fetch land, just to create the mini Ancestral out of it. He finds, if I'm correct, Fatal Push, Daze and Reanimate. But still no pressure.
No.
Both players need to find some pressure. They have just exactly the same hand at this moment. Both players have Brainstorm, Daze, Force of Will in hand, and an extra land. So Marvin decided not to fetch. Oh, he just wants to reanimate the Delver of Secrets. So Joris van Hove is deciding what he wants to do with this. I can't believe you want to spoil a Force of Will on this. At this moment, he has a Fatal Push in hand as well. You see up there, you have it, Fatal Push. In response, Brainstorm. In my opinion, these cards are not strong enough to have a big struggle about at this moment. So I hope for them neither player is putting in Force of Wills and stuff just to keep the Delver in play or to get it removed from play. I think you should protect your hand a little bit more at this moment and just... now it was a very nice play to see from Joris. He knows he's playing against UB, that Shadow. They are mana light decks, so they only need 1-2 mana. When they have 4 mana or something, they're like flooded at that moment. What did he do now? Marvin casted Brainstorm with an open fetch land, and Joris decided to daze the Brainstorm. So Marvin needed to fetch before he can Brainstorm. I strongly believe we see a Street Raid and maybe Hurmag Angler or something. It's hard to see from this angle of view.
Daze, Force and Fatal Push.
Yep, that resolves. Give me my Delver back, Marvin.
Him the Torag.
Him the Torag, yes. Marvin decides to let go. He had Forceful and Daze in hand, so no real reason to force it at that moment. Fatal Push, Forceful, okay. So, but still, Joris van Hove has no pressure in hand. He still has the Daze and the Forceful in hand. And Marvin has the Daze and a Stubborn Denial in hand, I think. Is it a Stubborn Denial?
Could be.
Stubborn Denial. Maybe we can pop it up. I think it says it can counter target spell unless the player pays 1 extra. But if you have a creature with power 4 or more on the battlefield, it just says counter target spell. There you have it. Gurmag Angler. This maybe is something that Joris van Hove doesn't want to see on the battlefield. It's a 4th turn clock. Okay, Joris let it resolve. There are only 2 cards in the deck from Joris van Hove that can get rid of a Gurmag Angler, and that are 2 dismembers. That are the only cards that can destroy a Gurmag Angler at this moment. There you see it's Stubborn Denial, and exactly as I said. Oh, it's as well target non-creature spell.
Okay.
Okay. Oh. There is the twin of Gurmag Angler. Yeah. The Gurmag twins on the battlefield.
Have a little
How
stare
do you
there.
say it? It's not his brother, it's a brother from another mother.
Yeah. Going to stare down at each other. Street trade. Losing 2.
Yep, going to 11, draw. Now he has 2 Stubborn Denials and a Daze in hand. What you want to do, Marvin?
Now he has below 13 lives, so now his
Dead
dead
Shadows.
shadows are active.
Yeah.
So if he finds one, he can play one.
Bitter Blossom. Stubborn Denial.
It has
Marvin
for
points out that he has a creature with power 4 or more. So, if Joris van Hove decides to throw his Force of Will into this, could be who Force, and he has a 2nd Stubborn Denial. We know that Joris didn't. So he has only 1 card in hand, and Marvin has still a Daze in hand at this moment. Joris van Hove wants to fetch. He knew the top card was the island. Definitely doesn't want to draw an island in this moment.
Ponder. Gets
Honor
dazed.
Daze.
So he's in top deck mode.
They're both in top deck mode. Marvin finds the Brainstorm.
Thoughtseize. Fetch.
Yeah, the second one is a Dead Shadow, I believe. Actually, I think, in my opinion, it was wrong of Marvin to take the Underground Sea back on hand with Daze. But I said before, it's very strong to take the Watery Grave.
Yeah.
I believe it's Watery Grave that's in play, not? Yes. Yeah. Just to take the Watery Grave back on hand, just so you can play it again and take 2 extra damage. Because only that Shadow is still a 2/2 at that moment. I believe he has an extra Watery Grave. Yep. So he goes to 9 at this moment. And now probably will cast Dead Shadow. It's now a 4/4. So if he had Dazed with the Watery Grave back on hand,
Yeah.
then he could take 2 extra damage and have a 3-turn clock. Okay, so now okay. The Thoughtseize, so he goes to 7. It's for 6. It's still a 3-turn clock. I think this is a big problem for Joris van Hove.
Think so.
He really needs to find some removal quickly. He has a lot on his deck, yeah. Wasteland's not good enough. No, he doesn't have a lot. He has only Fatal Pushes
Fatal
in his
push,
hand.
yeah.
In his deck.
Attack.
So now top deck for Joris van Hove, or this game will end. Fatal Push. Can we say this was a top deck? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone in the room knows this was the top deck. Yeah. We hear a lot of people.
That's a him. That's just
so
discard your hand.
It turned completely. Who will draw the first creature? That's the question at this moment.
Or maybe a cantrip, so you can search. Yep. There's a ponder.
There's a ponder. So Marvin decided to shuffle. No. So Joris did find the Delver. And Marvin did find a Dead Shadow. Oh, true name Nemesis.
And he has a daze, but he can pay for the daze.
Yep, and true name can block the Dead Shadow all day long.
Yeah.
Marvin is deciding what to do. Do I want to daze this one? Yes, he wants.
Going to 5.
Just to let Joris van Hove search for the other land in his deck. Probably just to... Joris has another card in hand. I think we know already it's a land. He thought it's a land. So that he can't find a brainstorm, play brainstorm, put the land back on top, and then fetch at that moment. And dazes are very irrelevant at this moment in the match.
So the Delver has to flip. That's the fourth time.
Still nothing, yeah.
Still the fourth time I think that it didn't flip. He has a street rate in hand.
Yep. And again a ponder for Marvin. Casts ponder.
Looking for answers. So fetch.
Finds fetch land. Dismember was the second card. Not sure what the first card was. Is there any card that Marvin has in his deck that can remove Tuning Nemesis? I don't think so. No. No cards in Marvin's deck that could kill the True Name Nemesis, but he finds another Gurmag Angler. So once again, Joris van Hove needs to find a solution to kill one of both creatures. And he still has the street rate in hand, I believe.
I can't no flip. Liliana? No. I thought he was
another Gurmag Angler. I'm not sure. Is he playing?
Yeah, they're both playing one in the main board.
But they're playing Liliana the Last Hope. I don't think it's that good at this moment. It gives -2, -1, but it can find some creatures from the graveyard. That would be very good. That would be very good indeed. So for Marvin, it's not possible to attack at this moment.
No.
What did he find? Dismember.
So he loses 2 life.
Yep, it's going to 5.
So it's 5 each. Must jump block, otherwise he's dead. Yeah. So now
I think only another true name Nemesis could save the day at this moment. Oh, he scoops it down, didn't find anything. So it's 1-0 for Marvin at this moment. So let's see to the sideboards. Joris van Hoven has an engineered explosives, Dread of Night, 1 Flusterstorm, Gravedigger's Cage, Biting Needle, Spell Pierce, Surgical Extraction, Thoughtseize, Diabolic Edict, Wretched Bomb, and Toxic Deluge in sideboard. The Diabolic Edict looks really good. Wretched Bombs could be okay. That Shadows only for 1 mana, a big creature, so that could be possible. Some extra counter spells, the Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce maybe, because probably he's taking out his Force of Wills. Dazes will go out maybe, all the counter spells. So he has 8 slots to fill up, maybe. Engineered Explosives could be very good.
I want to see a reanimate on the...
You see Marvin is taking his Force of Wills out immediately.
I want to see a reanimate on the...
Joris is taking
true name Nemesis. You can steal it from the other.
Yeah. So Joris is deciding to keep his Dazes in.
In the chat we see if any player is playing Bump in the Night. There aren't. So no Bump in the Night. For the last 3 damage. It's the 1 black instant for 3 damage. Of the player loses 3 life. Something like that.
They aren't.
No.
So for the UB Dead Shadow list, he's playing 2 Bitter Blossoms, 2 Diabolic Edicts, 2 Dread of Nights, 2 Hymn to Turax, 1 Liliana, 1 Marsh Casualties, 2 Wretched Bombs, and 3 Surgical Extractions. I believe for him the Diabolic Edicts are good. The Bitter Blossoms are good. Hymn to Turax is good at this moment. The Liliana is okay to resurrect some creatures.
The Marsh Casualties. For the -1/-1 for the true name Nemesis.
For the true name Nemesis, yeah. So they have a lot of... Both players actually have a lot of cards in sideboard that could be brought in.
So Bump in the Night was a sorcery. Target opponent loses 3 life for 1 black mana. But...
It looks bad. So both players are already ready to start the second game. The other match all as well finished their first match as well. There we have Dries van Heukelom playing the Eldrazi's against Richie, that we saw a lot today on stream, playing the Lens deck.
Yeah.
There it's a 1-0 as well. I have no idea for who, but so Joris could start the second game. He leads out at Polluted Delta, and Marvin goes Fetch Shock. So he's at 17. Preordain. Finds Bitter Blossom.
That's a sideboard card.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chooses to keep both cards on top.
Yeah. First.
And take the land
Yeah.
in hand at this moment. Probably wants to follow up with Bitter Blossom as fast as possible.
Yeah.
He knows as well that Joris van Hove did take out the Force of Wills out of his decks.
And probably taking the land now and leave the Bitter Blossom on top so he can get him the Thorax and loses the Bitter Blossom. There it is.
Him to Turach.
Okay.
I have no idea how many lands Marvin has in hand.
No.
It could be a problem if Joris finds the 2 lands in his hand. If he has to, I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1. That's a land.
That was the one he had drawn.
And him to Turach.
He's thinking, so... Oh, and passed the turn. So it was his only land.
It was the only land he had, yes. So maybe you should have put that on the 2nd place then. Yeah. I think then in that case it was more important to protect the land than it was with the Bitter Blossoms. So he has a reanimate in hand. If he wants, he can Thoughtseize. Goes to 13 days.
Oh, it wasn't cast.
Yes, stays at 15 indeed.
Yeah. There's a days.
Joris finds another days. I told you while these players were sideboarding that I really didn't like days at this moment, but I think Joris has proven me wrong at this moment. But he's a little bit lucky, of course, that Marvin was
on a one
a little bit mana screwed. Yeah.
Fatal push.
Like nowadays, a bad card in this moment. On Marvin's side, on the other hand, that's something else. The stubborn denials, I should let them in. They're only for 1 mana, counter target non-creature spell unless it plays 1. Yes, but if you have a big creature, it just counters the fatal push. So that's another story than a days. Those days should stay in the deck probably forever and ever.
Yeah.
Yes, these are very good in these decks. But I could be very wrong.
Yeah.
I am not an Ube Delver player and definitely not a Dead Shadow player. I never played any of these decks, so maybe I'm completely wrong. Wouldn't be the first time.
Targeting the street raids.
The street raids.
And Joris has a swamp on the battlefield, so it could be unblockable if it comes true.
It will be unblockable if it comes true.
Yeah. if it comes to, yeah, there it is.
It goes to 7. I think Joris and Marvin is at 18 at this moment, yes. Cast Sponder finds Brainstorm. Second card. Preordain, I think. The left card we can't see. So Marvin has another Reanimate in his hand. So next turn he can reanimate the Delver of Secrets in Joris van Hove's graveyard as well.
Yeah.
And then he could have a clock. Then he could have a 3-turn clock. Joris van Hove finds a Diabolic Edict.
His hand is stacked, so should have had some answers for a street raid. If Joris can find a wasteland, that would be very good for him.
Yeah. That could be very good, yes indeed.
So it's...
Oh, there you have it, Dead Shadow. It's a 6/6 Dead Shadow at this moment. Joris van Hove has the Fatal Push in hand.
Yeah.
Oh, Marvin left some Force of Will in. He left some Force of Will in. He now has the possibility Force of Will, the Fatal Push with the Stubborn now, and he's doing that.
And is
Joris van Hove fetches a response. And he still has a reanimate, so next turn he can still reanimate that shadow
yeah.
once again.
So the days, I'm waiting for the days.
Is there a very good reason why you didn't just spell pierced it
in the
from the beginning? Probably there is, and I don't see the reason, but so, but still, Marvin has the reanimate on hand, finds another Thoughtseize. What is he doing? He's trying to reanimate at this moment. Reanimate. For a 7/7 Dead Shadow. It hits the battlefield.
So it takes 1 damage of it.
Then it's an 8/8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ponder.
Maybe the UB Dead Shadow deck could be a deck that could play the Dreadnought. The 12/12 Trampler.
Yeah, yeah, With the stifle.
No, with the dead shadow.
Oh, with the dead shadow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't need the stifle anymore. If you just have the dead shadow and they destroy your dead shadow, you can play the dreadnought. You can just exile the dead shadow out of your graveyard.
You can test it.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe one of our good friends, Robert.
Maybe Robert Falconeers will do it. Yeah. But he has to find a funky name for it, and then it's Dreadnought Dead Shadow or something. Yeah. So can Joris and Hove, fatal push again. He found another fatal push. A Diabolic Edict from Marvin, Tatsies. The other two cards I can't see at this moment.
I think the third one is another Tatsies. I think he has two Tatsies in hand.
And shouldn't he have still the Bitter Blossom in hand? He put it on top in turn 1. Now yours has a Bitter Blossom. Could it be that the third card in his hand is the Bitter Blossom?
That's possible.
But
at 5
you can't play it
yeah,
because you will die
at
before
5
you can kill Joris and Hove with it.
Yeah.
Now the fourth card is the Bitter Blossom, yes.
He has drawn a
I
watery
think
grave.
it looks very bad for Marvin at this moment.
Yeah, it is.
He's looking down on a Bitter Blossom on the opponent's side.
Loses a life, gets a token.
Preordained. Oh, as you said, he should find a wasteland. He found a wasteland. And exactly on that moment, of course, Marvin finds another land. Fates goes to 4. Probably we will take now the Underground Sea.
There it is.
It's not the correct time anymore to play a Watery Grave.
No.
And,
But I think the Bitter Blossom is going to take this game away.
yes, I think so.
Because
I
he has
do
a
think
blocker
so.
every turn, and he can swing back in the air.
Yes, indeed. So for all our matches, we have a top 8. In our top 8 is Eldrazi. Eldrazi aggro is there. There's a burn deck. We have UB Dead Shadow. We have UB Delver. We have Miracles. We have Mono Red Sneak Attack. We have Dead on Texas. And we have lands.
Yeah.
That are the 8 decks in our top 8. So no deck 2 times in top 8. 8 separate decks in top 8 today. So Marvin is at 3 at this moment.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's winnable anymore by Marvin this game. He finds a Dead Shadow. He finds one, but still. It's going to 11.
Yeah.
So now it's a tricky part. Do you attack with 2 creature? Yes, he does.
Yeah. Why not?
Because now he's at 1. The Dead Shadow is an 11/11 creature. He has a lot of cards in hand. I don't know what Joris and Hove has in hand at this moment, but if he can kill the flying creature, he could die.
Yeah.
There isn't out at this moment.
Brainstorm.
I have no idea what Joris van Hove has in hand.
If he had a counter, I would counter the brainstorm. Would you?
I don't think so at this moment, no. Because it could... Maybe Marvin just wanted to let the brainstorm be encountered at that moment, have an extra land in hand, just play the extra underground sea. Yes, for then fatal pushing the other creature and attacking with that shadow.
Okay.
So I don't think countering the brainstorm would be a correct play today to do, but okay, it's 1-1 now. Joris did take this down. So, but actually, as we see it, there are two really similar decks.
Yeah.
Yes. The only difference is that Marvin is helping Joris a little bit.
Yeah.
With going down as its life total. So.
But that's the purpose of his deck. So I remember the first time I was playing against that shadow, and I didn't know what he was doing, and I was like, okay, and then bam, damn, I'm dead. So yeah, it was a hard lesson for me. So one player told me you can't lose. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn something.
Yeah,
so that time I learned something.
Yeah, indeed. I understand what you mean. Yeah.
So some last minute changes.
I think he's taking the bitter blossoms out again, no?
I think so, maybe.
So as everybody knows, this is the quarterfinal of our tournament. That means these matches are untimed. These guys are playing already for 41 minutes.
Yep.
Now. Now they're starting game 3. All the other matches are done already. So we're waiting for this matchup to be done. We have no results at this moment from the other matchups.
No. Do you think they have nerves at this point? At this point, going for the final game?
I have no idea. I strongly believe that Joris hasn't. And I know him for a long time already. Yeah. He's playing a lot of tournaments. He played a lot of top 8s. Like Marvin, I have no idea. I don't know Marvin. It's the first time I see Marvin at our tournaments here, so I don't know how long he plays Magic. Does he play it for 20 years, for 5 years, maybe for 1 year? I have no idea. I don't think it's for 1 year. Did you see his deck? He's playing a lot of foils as well, so most people that only playing for 1 year don't play that many foils, okay? So it probably is not his first tournament. But for nerves, I think if you, it's the first tournament you play, yes, then I understand if you're hitting top 8, that there could be some nerves somewhere.
And on the stream, that's...
Yeah, and on the stream. But what we see is that a lot of mistakes happen on stream.
Yeah.
Yes.
They usually don't do it on if they're off.
Indeed. There happen a lot more errors on stream than off stream, indeed. Because everybody just knows they're watching me, and you want to play as perfect and as clean as possible.
Yeah.
But while you're thinking, how do I need to do this as clean as possible? You're making errors.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't do on another thing, on another table. Myself, I did the craziest stuff
On stream.
On stream. We were playing old school as well. 2 years ago, we streamed our old school event. I played the Blood Moon, and I was still activating Library of Alexandria like it was no Blood Moon. So yeah, sometimes you just do weird stuff, or you miss some things, and that's what you don't do off stream. It's really silly, but yeah. Not everybody wants to play on stream as well. So some people feel if they do it like on stream, they have some extra nerves for the game, and they say, "No, I rather won't play on stream. I just want to stay on the normal tables, play over here. Please don't put me on stream." All the respect for those players as well. Yes.
Of course.
So, but we were talking about the nerves. I think. If you are an experienced player and you hit top 8 frequently, that there shouldn't be too much nerves.
Yeah.
Nobody can say there are no nerves involved at a certain point. No, we're not a very big tournament. If you hit top 8 of a GP or something,
of course,
I think everybody has some nerves. You should have some nerves. Yes, maybe they're healthy nerves at that moment, but you really should have some.
But if you play a top 8 at a GP, the advantage that you have is you know your deck, and knowing your deck is the most powerful thing you can have, I think. And if you can react with the opponent with your own deck, you have to think less. You have to think less because it's all normal. Look at Johan Steurs playing Miracles, one of the most difficult deck, and he's playing like he's on his kitchen table. And I think that's very important. Knowing your own deck is.
That's where magic starts a little bit. Knowing what your own deck does and how you need to play it. Indeed.
So no second land, and there's the wasteland that could turn.
Followed up by preordain. If Joris and Hove could find some pressure at this moment. Cycle street rates pay to go to 13. Draw.
There's a wasteland.
Yeah, it's the only land he has in hand at this moment, I believe. Yours has some extra lands. Finds a ponder. Fetch, underground sea.
Fetching a basic 2 mana.
So Joris and Hove drops down Bitter Blossom in the last turn, paying 1 life, goes to 17, and the first token come in. We already know this is a big problem for Marvin's deck at this moment. And he only still has the Wasteland. He needs to find another land. Not sure how many lands these decks are playing. They're only playing like 17 lands.
Okay.
Everything included. So as well the Wasteland as the fetch land, as the land that got wasted. So he only has like 14 lands in his deck at this moment. So him to Turach.
Greenstone and
And Dead Shadow. Ponder.
There's a Daze.
Daze, True Name Nemesis. And
Blackguard.
I'm not sure, it seemed like it was a Toxic Deluge. He has one in sideboard, so
Okay.
it can be.
So I think Marvin's gonna lose this game because he's mana screwed.
Just mana screwed, yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. There you go. Gurmag Angler, and we know he has another
True name.
True Name in hand.
There it is.
This is some pressure on
Yeah.
the battlefield now. So next time
Yeah.
you can hit 14, he has a 2-turn clock at this moment. Marvin doesn't find any land. I don't think it's possible for Marvin to win anymore.
No,
I can't see any out at this moment.
He has 10
he
power
can
on the battlefield.
He can dismember the Gurmag taking 4 damage this moment, and that will get dazed as well. You see, he takes 4. Joris has a daze. Ooh, he thought, alright, this one would, and then he remembered, I have a daze in hand, so I will daze then it's over. Now it's lethal.
Yeah.
Now it's lethal. He can swing in for 10. Marvin has 0 outs at this moment. So Joris van Hove takes it down. He wins 2-1 in the quarter.